Well, we're right back to where we left off, cutting in our road here. I wanted to make my way in quite a ways here. I don't have an exact distance yet, but I want to get in here, and I'm actually going to kind of try to use this opening here to my advantage. That way I don't have to cut as many trees. I want to get in a ways here and then start getting an area cleared so I can have a nice big landing to work with, and essentially I'm just going to keep clearing my way in through that valley that I had showed last time. I couldn't get 3 birch trees in this for some reason. Struggling. Make our way in here, get our landing opened up, and I'll go from there. I like I said, I think I just want to kind of clear cut everything, so not like not anything too crazy, but it's gonna open up quick, and I'll just have my landing in here. I'm just gonna drop these trees on the sides of the road for now. I'll probably, when I bring the processor in, I'll just drive down this road, and I can process these logs and stack them on the side, and at some point along the lines I can go through and load them up, walk the loader through as well, and kind of load them up. But this looks like, looking at my map here, this looks like kind of where I want to be. I don't have a real place for where I want to stack these logs yet, but this looks like as good of a place as any. I'll start stacking some on this side, and then clearing out, and I'll stack some probably the other direction on the other side. Just wanted to work things a little bit differently, where last time I was kind of bringing all the logs to one area, and I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I'm going to move all the equipment to the logs, I guess. I'm going to, as I'm bunching them, kind of bunch into the big piles, and I'll keep stacking and stacking and stacking, and then I'll turn it into a pile of logs. I'll bring a processor over, I'll turn it into some logs, and that's how I'm going to play this lot here. I was going to say this is how I'm going to play this map, but it's still the same map. I'm just doing things a little bit differently here. Hopefully that tree didn't block my road. Thought it might. I'll have to come in here pretty soon before I get a log truck in here and mulch all the stumps down and get a road built, because it's not going to be very easy driving the log truck in and driving over all these stumps. Should be able to handle it, but not something that's super easy for the machine anyway. But like I said, well, this is going to be our landing here, I guess. I'm going to start cutting this out. And it's always tough to visualize it at first, for me anyway. Trying to figure out how I want to set things up. Once you start cutting trees down, you have a much better idea of what's going on. Gonna get this all roughed out here, all the way over to this edge. And the nice thing too is I'm planning on going to my right. That's the direction I want to start cutting. That's where I'm going to start clearing over there. But I could always go to my left if I wanted. I don't have to. I won't have to move the equipment if I want to start clearing more land over here. Just get a huge area opened up. Those three big trees there Messing up my pile though. I dropped some trees, and I don't like how it kind of screwed up my pile, but should be able to get back there and cut them down and fix this back up here. You'll be able to see pretty soon here what I'm talking about with bringing the equipment to the logs. Not like it's a big secret what I'm talking about, but maybe you don't quite, maybe I'm not quite explaining it well, but just gonna, I don't know, I was gonna drive around to the backside to cut these trees, but if I do that, it doesn't really leave me much option to get them around to my pile. I might just snip this. I don't need that top right here anyway. Just cut that off, get that out of my way. Come in here, grab this one. I don't like how this long tree is sitting up on the side of the hill there. It's kind of I put my pile here too far back. Oops. I can grab that before it tips over. Just barely. This pile here is kind of messed up a little bit. Let's see if I'll just drop this in line with these other three. Then maybe I'll shift this whole pile and angle this whole pile a little bit differently. Rather than fighting these big trees, I can move the small ones, kind of angle it, straighten it up a little bit. Not ideal, but that doesn't have to be our only pile. I can just leave that pile kind of messed up the way it is and start a new one. Now we can start going one direction or the other. Thinking I'll probably we'll back up here and start cutting some trees. Keep saying that, but again, I don't have the greatest plan here worked out in my head yet, so still trying to work it out. But if I probably don't want to get my piles any closer to the wall than that, where if I'm getting big trees. Go. I think I just grabbed two at once. Just out of my reach. That's one thing. I feel like I get used to running the log loaders, and the log loaders have a much farther reach. So then I get in the fella buncher, and I'm always trying to work a little bit too far out of the reach zone. I'm either too close because I think I need to move closer, or I'm a little too far away. Should have dropped those trees a little bit closer to the ground, so that way that didn't happen. Should be able to clear land quite a bit faster doing it this way, I would think. We'll see though. And my first time doing it this way, stacking these processor piles with a fell buncher. Normally I just stack piles big enough for the skidder. Things are definitely getting a little quicker for me, though. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at controlling things. Getting more used to the movements. stuff like this hasn't gotten much better, creating messes for myself, but that's only because I'm trying to go fast. If I wanted to take a couple minutes and try to set that down a little bit nicer, it probably wouldn't have done that, but then I end up messing around with it like this. It's probably not really a problem. It's just going to suck a little bit when I bring a processor over to try to mess with it. If they're all nice and straight, it makes it a little bit easier. We probably don't need to go much bigger than that. I can stack a few more on it, but we've got an area over here cleared out now, so we can start stacking another pile that way. I do have some stuff right here though that I can toss in that pile, some close by stuff. Can I reach that from here? Probably not. Hate how it bounces like that. To be fair, I can visualize trees in real life bouncing like that too, so it's not like it's part of the game that's doing that. I'm sure a real tree, if I dropped it like that, it would bounce just like that, but we'll drive these back over here. I might actually that my pile to the left here is kind of buried in the trees. I might actually drive over that way real quick before I get too far away and clear this pile out. I'll wipe out these trees here and give us a little bit more breathing room for these piles. I don't want to stack farther this direction, but if I clear this area out, at least we'll be able to get to this a little easier. Have more room to park the equipment once we get it in here. Some of the small stuff I probably won't process much of. We'll see. I'm tempted to even cut it because it's not as much fun for me to load with a log truck, or load on a log truck. That tree was just in range. Another big one. Big ones drop down nicely together. They seem to stack in a little bit better than the small ones. I've said it before in past videos, but I only like to do one big one at a time. It's really all you can do. I can't do this tree here and a big one. It just doesn't fit. They end up kicking out on each other. Whoops. That was a close call. I didn't get that small one with a secondary grapple, or the secondary claw, whatever you want to call it. Almost popped out on me. Let's get these 3 big trees here. Ooh, almost tipping me over. We'll stack them in our pile over here, and then I think I want to get the I don't have to. I can keep fellow bunching. Keep using a little buncher here. We'll get a good pile. Oops. Good few piles here. We don't need to get the processor in here just yet. I think I want to get the road mulched in. I'll probably do that off camera just because it's a little bit tedious, but going a little quick here for these big trees. They're kind of throwing me all over the place. I should be taking my time a little bit, making it nice and smooth, but I think I said it last time, just a bowl in a china shop. There we go. Making progress. So I'm gonna keep cutting trees here. I wish the track speed was a little bit faster on this. Sometimes, I mean, for this it's probably fast enough. I think if I wasn't cutting any trees though, I feel like I should have the option to drive a hair faster. It doesn't seem like 4 miles an hour to me, but maybe it is. I feel like that's barely above walking speed. Walking speed's definitely not 4 miles an hour. This pile's laying down a little bit neater. I having a little bit better luck when I'm dropping these trees in. Realistically, it's my fault for not having the trees perfectly straight when I drop them down, or I'm dropping them from too high. But it's because I'm going too fast. Oops. Now, I had originally said I was going to stack trees on both sides. I just don't think I have enough space on this side to stack trees, at least the way I have it set up right now. Maybe I'll figure it out. I'll get some trees stacked up over there, but I'm getting some good piles over here, so Now my biggest bottleneck is going to be processing. Before it was kind of getting the skidder and hauling the trees out. I felt like was the biggest bottleneck for me. But if it isn't one thing, it's something else. You'll always have something to slow you down. Set over here just a little bit and start working my way this direction. Take one of these big trees. See that? Don't like the way that tree is up on the side of the hill like that. I'd like my pile to be back here just a little bit farther, but I'd like the pile to be back here somewhere. That's not terrible. I might figure something else out for these big trees. Maybe I'll do like I was saying. I'll drive over here and I can lay the big trees out this way. I was trying not to block the road with them. Yeah, because I'm kind of on a hill over here too. It's kind of a tricky situation here from me. Trying to figure out how I want to get this done. See if I can do 3 trees at once. Crushed it. I might just have to move my pile out a little bit so that I can stack those bigger ones. I thought I had a big tree here, but I guess I didn't have a full size, as tall as they come tree. Just beat the saw right into the cab right there. Killed my character. Oops. Still up on a hill. Might be the best we get right there. That's not terrible. It's sticking out a lot farther than I would like, but I can always cut my land back that way a little bit farther. It's not a problem right now. Once I get up, there's actually a hill this way that I'm going towards, so once I get up that way, it's gonna start causing more of an issue, but for now, we're not in a bad place. Quite a few big trees here. These logs make for good loading, fast, easy. They generally don't fall out of the grapple. They don't slide around. They get pretty tight in it. Makes it more fun. Look at this. This pile here is getting a little lopsided on me. Put the saw off so I don't accidentally cut the tree. Bump that one up and over. There we go. A little bit better. We're about 25 minutes in. I've been cutting for a few minutes here. We got a couple good piles. Should be able to get quite an idea of what I'm doing here. Just gonna move these trees here. That way I have room to get around because shouldn't have dropped that. I should have let it stop flopping around before I did that. That's better, but well, I'll fix that tree after. I'm just gonna cut these trees on this side a little bit more, get my, because I'm gonna have to have a road running around the outside here, because if I process these logs, the pile is gonna most likely wind up right here. I'm gonna have room to get around the front of them, so I'll get those knocked out, and make it so we have plenty of room to work here, and we'll keep working our way down. That'll be in the next episode, but I think 25 minutes is probably a good amount of time to watch me cut trees. Maybe I'll cut for the next 2 minutes here. I'll cut silently. You can watch me, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching.